This is the truth. If you think that this is tough, you are fooling yourself. You write answers here. Entire syllabus has how many topics? Consider Satavahana as one topic. Ikshvakus has one topic. Judiciary, executive, parliament. Each one is a topic. How many topics are there in the mains? Just count the syllabus. 75 units. Within each unit, how many keywords? Maybe 2 or 3. But many are related. Like there is poverty in society, there is poverty in economy. In effect, you get around 100. So 100 topics are there, which means let's say per topic, maximum how many questions can be possible. Take a heavy topic like judiciary. Right? Judiciary is a big topic. It's so central to India. How many questions can you frame on judiciary? In last 25 years, how many questions have ever been framed on judiciary? One is on appointments. Right? Judges appointing judges is a problem. One is on accountability, which is a related question. Judicial accountability. One is on judicial review or activism, depending on which side of the coin you are. Then there is one on, which one? I'm not able to. Overreach. Yeah, it's the same line of thought, right? Answer is same. Ante paina question marachandi. All question overreach and ichna, activism and ichna, meerem rastar answer. It's the same stuff you write. It's the same examples you quote. Right? So 3 is over. Appointments, accountability, activism or overreach. What about delay? Judicial efficiency. Right? It's very slow, right? Painfully slow many times. So judicial efficiency. This is 4th question. Ayipindga judiciary. Inkemanna unnaya? Recently we see an increasing trend of judges after retirement joining political parties and contesting elections, or joining some body which is set up by the executive. So when they are giving the judgment before retirement, we doubt their credentials or intentions or motivations, because I don't know if this judge is looking for a job after retirement and therefore is soft on executive. Right? The old saying, justice must not only be done but also seen to be done. Where is it seen to be done? If it is like this, like today you see a judgment being delivered on Ayodhya, and tomorrow this same person is sitting in Rajya Sabha, which is a nominated post, and now you have doubts about what is this judgment. Now imagine if you are a Muslim, you don't doubt it at all anymore, or you don't trust at all. So this may be the 5th question. Which one is? Post-retirement jobs and the question of judicial compromise or accountability. But can't you put this same question under the head of judicial accountability? So in effect there are only 4 questions. Let's say there is a 5th question, which is National Judicial Service. Right? It is often said that lower judiciary is very, very slow, very corrupt, right? Very low skilled, and so therefore have an all India service for an entire judiciary. You can discuss it, like there were questions asked. National Judicial Service, do you think it is a good idea? Do you think it is encroaching into state's power? This kind of thing. So you can think of this as a reform, right? The 15th Finance Commission and the commission before that have asked for digitalizing the courts, what we call e-court, to increase the efficiency. Right? Going manual is slow, so why not digitize? But if there is a question for 10 marks on that, can't you write the same answer which you have already written for judicial efficiency? And then what I'm saying is that you can cook an answer in the exam hall if you prepare these 4 questions. 100 topics into 4. 4 questions for each topic. How many topics? How many questions are there? Maximum 500. So 4 to 5. Maximum. This is if you have tested it with a very strong topic, judiciary. Think about urbanization. There are no 4 questions. There are only 3 questions. Right? Imbalanced urbanization or unbalanced urbanization. Right? 70% of the population, urban population of India live in 8 metros. and 30% of urban population live in 7,000 cities, 7,000 tier 2 cities. We need an even distribution so that the cities are not overburdened, and at the same time, the tier 2 cities also should provide jobs. This is one question. Then there are two phases of urban India always. One is the city of rich and the one is the city of, right? So there are questions on slums and how it is difficult to live. That is all that is there. You write these two answers, and if there is a third new question, you can cook an answer then and there, right? So you prepare these 500 questions, mains preparation is over. How much time does it take to prepare 500 questions? Answers, I mean. How much time? Roughly. In a day, let's say you write something like 5, then you'll take 100 days. When you don't have 100 days. In a day, you write 10, it'll take 50 days, right? Today is the 98th day for the TS exam. And I am told that this is the 45th day for APPSC Group 1 exam. So which means that if you prepare these 500 answers, next 50 days you can keep revising. Telugulo cheppalante batti paddam. What is revision? Revision is a posh word for అంతే కదా. వాట్ ఈస్ రివిజన్? నేను మీ ఇంటికి వచ్చాను అనుకోండి, ఫస్ట్ టైం వచ్చినప్పుడు డౌట్ ఉంటుంది, సెకండ్ టైం కొంచెం డౌట్ ఉంటుంది, థర్డ్ టైం ఫోర్త్ టైం యూ గెట్ యూస్ టు ఇట్. Then after that I'll walk mechanically. I have muscle memory. I don't need to see where exactly I am, right? So humans are very good if you repeat it. We are not good the first time, not the second time, not the third time, the nth time. N varies for each person. Depends on your focus, your consciousness. But it's not impossible. I cannot tell you what is a strategy for prelims, even if you give me 1 hour time. How to clear prelims? This is something I am not able to nail it, because there can be a question from any direction, and the biggest thing is that you need to know it specifically. It's not enough if you know the area. It may help you in eliminating, and somehow you'll figure out an answer, and it's not that you should get 100% marks, you should be better than your next person. All of that is there. That's why we are sailing through prelims. Otherwise, prelims is the toughest exam. So that's why I'm saying welcome. It is the toughest exam that you have cleared, and you are going to write the easiest exam. Strategy. If you have to write 500 answers, you may have two doubts. How much time it is going to take? Do I know how to write a good answer? Second, you may have a doubt about what are the questions. Right? Can you say that you have written 4 questions and completed this topic? Right? But imagine if your team writes, 3-4 people sit together and every day write. You can complete 500 answers in 10 days. Next 90 days, what are you going to do? This is it. Every week you write a test, keep revising. Every day, if you can write 5 answers, even more better. Don't read. This is the key of the exam. Don't read, write. Write to clear. Right? So having said that, having established the context that this is the easiest stage of the exam, I think the toughest part of the exam is essay. Why? You can't prepare and go. Right? How can you prepare and by heart an entire essay? How many ever times you revise? But doesn't mean there is no solution to this. That the coaching industry is crucially dependent on providing you a solution, a shortcut, how to clear this exam. So many best brains are working on how to help you clear. Right? Now, I think that it is commonsensical at one level. Thinking about essay, commonsensical. Why? Because when you talk to somebody, or when you are listening to somebody, or let's say when you are watching a movie, you always want it to be logical. Right? You can't accept it if it is not logical. It has to make sense. It has to be a step-by-step order. I say that India is facing a water crisis. If I don't give any proof for it, will you believe me? I have to say that, the Central Water Commission has told, this is a pre-COVID report, they have not released any report after COVID, they have said that 238 districts in India are highly stressed. How many districts are there in India? Shall I give options? You have cleared prelims.
600.
600. Good. According to?
640.
This is the thing in India, right? 640 according to the Ministry of Home Affairs, 619 according to the Census of India, right? And then the MOSPI, what is it? Ministry of Statistics Program Implementation. They think that there are only 593 districts in India. The RBI does a monthly survey of consumer opinion about inflation in future, and they think there are only 580 districts. So what is the number of districts in India? It's a wrong question. What are the number of revenue districts in India is a right question. What are the number of census districts in India is a right question. So when you write it, see that you write exactly what you are telling. So anyways, out of 640 districts, if you think of it as a revenue way, the Central Water Commission is saying 1/3 districts are definitely in soup, having water crisis. Now, if I don't give you data, if I don't tell you the exact reporter from which I am picking this data, how will you ever trust me? Humans are trained from childhood to only think logically, to listen to only logical things. We still believe BJP, I agree, but I am trying to say that we have a natural tendency or an inclination to trust people who are talking logically. So this is the cue. When you write an essay, see that you construct it step by step. Don't confuse the reader. Right? Write a point, make a statement, India is facing a water crisis. Then prove it. Then give a solution. Complete the para. This para is over. Then you go for another crisis. Then you state the point. Then you give a proof. Then you give a suggestion. Then you state another point. Give proof. Give a suggestion. Logical, step by step, without confusing. Each paragraph should be dedicated only to one point. If you write water crisis, urban crisis and another crisis in the same paragraph, the reader will be, you're expecting more from the reader. Is it fair to expect more from the reader? But think about your situation. I think your situation is a little problematic, particularly the people who are writing the TS exam. How many people are selected for the mains exam?
31,000.
Out of 31,000, 500 odd will be selected, right? If I give you 31,000 papers and ask you to pick 500 out of them, will you pick 500 by reading or by looking? But you're all reading. You put maximum time in reading, understanding, clarity, but then nobody is interested in seeing that. They don't have time. Skill I don't want to discuss, I have never met them. But definitely time is a crucial premium here. They don't have time to read whatever finer details you write. So you have a very, very unenviable task. Unenviable means this is a task I don't want. Unenviable task of impressing somebody with an intelligent essay, but that should look good. Right? Because ultimately your fate depends on how it looks. So I think your goal should be at least 80% time you should spend on thinking about how to make it look good. That's the key here, how to make it look good. You read a lot about water crisis and come up with a finer detail. I don't think there is anybody on the other side to listen. They don't have time. Don't think about finer details. Think about broad strokes. When you're painting, think about broad strokes. Think about rough points. Like you should be able to tell last 100 years of history in maybe 3-4 lines. If you can tell last 500 years of history in 4-5 lines, it is even more entertaining. If you spend a lot of time on one point, there is nobody ready to read. Right? Your audience is, I think, a very, very stressed audience because they have to read a lot of papers to pick one. Right? They have to read 60 papers to pick one paper. Imagine how difficult. Would you like to do that job? Not in this life. But they have to do. So your job is to not trouble them even more. To see that they are very comfortable. Your job is to see that they give you marks easily. Now, I want you to think about it, brainstorm about it every day, at least for 10 to 15 minutes. How to do this? How to persuade a person who is so much stressed, right? If you start telling the whole story, I don't think that person will be